Have you ever wondered why some women can walk into a room and every man's energy shifts? Not because they're the most conventionally beautiful, not because they're trying to get attention, but because they carry something that's become extraordinarily rare in our modern world. Authentic feminine energy that operates according to ancient laws most women have completely forgotten. These women don't chase men, yet men become obsessed with them. They don't try to impress, yet they leave lasting impressions. They don't perform femininity, yet they embody it so naturally that masculine energy can't help but respond. There's something about their presence that awakens primal attraction, not just physical desire, but soul-deep magnetism. What they possess isn't luck, genetics, or manipulation tactics. It's an understanding of feminine power that Lao Tzu described 2,500 years ago in the Tao Te Ching. Principles that reveal why certain women become absolutely unforgettable, while others fade from memory despite being intelligent, successful, and beautiful. Today I'm going to reveal the 5 unmistakable signs that you possess this rare feminine energy, why it drives men absolutely wild with attraction, and how recognizing these qualities in yourself can transform not just your relationships, but your entire experience of being a woman in this world. If you've ever felt different from other women, if you've noticed that men respond to you in ways that surprise even you, if there's something about your energy that you can't quite name, but others definitely feel, this message is for you. But first, let's acknowledge what's happening to feminine energy in our modern world, because understanding this crisis is crucial to recognizing why your authentic feminine nature has become so rare and so incredibly valuable. We live in a culture that has taught women to suppress, hide, or fundamentally alter their feminine essence to succeed in a masculine structured world. You've been told that being emotional makes you weak, that intuition isn't as valuable as logic, that receptivity is passivity, that flowing is less important than forcing. You've been conditioned to believe that your natural feminine rhythms, your need for beauty, your connection to cycles, your intuitive knowing, your emotional depth, are inconveniences to be managed rather than powers to be cultivated. Society has convinced you that to be taken seriously, you must think like a man, act like a man, suppress your feminine nature like a man. The result? Most women are walking around in a state of disconnection from their own feminine essence. They're operating primarily from masculine energy, constantly doing, achieving, pushing, controlling, proving their worth through external accomplishments. They've learned to be productive rather than receptive, logical rather than intuitive, independent rather than interdependent. But here's what's absolutely fascinating. While this disconnection has become the norm, it's created a situation where authentic feminine energy has become extraordinarily rare and therefore extraordinarily magnetic. The woman who has maintained or reclaimed her connection to genuine feminine power stands out like a lighthouse in a sea of sameness. Men can feel this difference immediately, even if they can't articulate it. They find themselves drawn to these women in ways that feel almost mystical, almost beyond their control. It's not about physical appearance. It's about energy, presence, and the activation of something primal and ancient that most men rarely experience in modern relationships. This is why some women seem to effortlessly attract devoted masculine attention, while others struggle despite being objectively more beautiful, successful, or accomplished. It's not about what you look like or what you've achieved. It's about the quality of energy you embody and emanate. The 5 signs I'm about to share with you are markers of this rare feminine energy. They're not things you need to develop or perform. They're qualities you likely already possess, but may not have recognized as sources of power. Understanding these signs will help you see your feminine nature not as something to apologize for or hide, but as your greatest strength and most magnetic asset. Before we dive into the 5 signs, we need to understand what Lao Tzu taught about feminine energy and why his insights are more relevant now than ever. The Tao Te Ching contains some of the most profound wisdom about feminine power ever recorded, and it's crucial for understanding why certain women become absolutely irresistible to masculine energy. Lao Tzu wrote, "Know the masculine, but keep to the feminine, and become a watershed to the world." He understood that while both masculine and feminine energies are essential, Feminine energy contains the creative force that gives birth to everything in existence. It's not the weaker energy, it's the source energy. In Chapter 6 of the Tao Te Ching, he describes the mysterious female as the root of heaven and earth. This mysterious female energy is described as empty yet inexhaustible, soft yet unconquerable, yielding yet ultimately victorious. These aren't contradictions, they're the paradoxes that make feminine energy so powerful and so misunderstood. The feminine principle in Taoist philosophy is associated with water, the element that appears weakest but ultimately shapes all landscapes. Water doesn't fight the mountain, it caresses it until the mountain surrenders its shape. Water doesn't argue with obstacles, it finds ways around, under or through them. Water doesn't demand to be essential, it simply is essential for all life. This is the energy that drives men wild, not because it's manipulative or strategic, but because it's so authentically powerful that it activates every masculine instinct to protect, provide, and pursue. Masculine energy is naturally drawn to feminine energy, the way fire is drawn to oxygen. It's not a choice, it's a fundamental force of nature. But here's the key insight. This isn't about gender roles or stereotypes. It's about energy qualities that can exist in anyone, but have been systematically suppressed in women. The signs I'm about to share represent a reconnection to this ancient feminine power that Lao Tzu recognized as the creative force of the universe itself. The first sign that you possess rare feminine energy is that you trust your intuitive knowing, even when it contradicts logical analysis, and this trust has proven itself accurate time and time again in ways that surprise even you. Most women have been taught to suppress their intuitive gifts in favor of rational thinking. We're told that gut feelings aren't reliable, that emotions cloud judgment, that we need data and evidence to make good decisions. But women with rare feminine energy have maintained their connection to what the ancient Taoists called Wu Wei Ji, knowing without knowing how you know. You might find that you can sense the emotional state of a room the moment you walk in. You pick up on energy that others miss entirely. You know things about people that they haven't told you. You have strong feelings about situations that you can't fully explain logically, but when you follow these feelings, they consistently lead you in the right direction. In relationships, this shows up as an uncanny ability to read between the lines. You sense when something is off with a man before he even recognizes it himself. You can feel his interest level, his emotional availability, his true intentions beneath whatever words he's saying. You know when someone is lying not because of evidence, but because your body responds to the incongruence between their energy and their words. This intuitive capacity drives men wild because it makes you impossible to deceive or manipulate. Men who are used to women who can be distracted by smooth words or logical explanations find themselves face to face with someone who sees right through surface presentations to the truth underneath. It's both terrifying and incredibly attractive to masculine energy. But it goes deeper than just relationship insights. You might have strong gut feelings about career decisions, living situations, or life directions that don't make logical sense, but consistently prove to be exactly right. You've learned to trust this inner knowing, even when others question your reasoning. This quality is rare because our educational system, our work environments, and our cultural conditioning systematically train women to doubt their intuitive gifts. Women with this sign have either never lost this connection or have worked to reclaim it, despite social pressure to rely solely on logical analysis. Men are magnetically drawn to this quality because it represents a type of intelligence they don't possess and deeply admire. Masculine energy tends to be linear, logical, and analytical. When a man encounters a woman who can access information and insights through intuitive channels, it feels almost magical to him. You might notice that men often come to you for advice about situations that have nothing to do with your professional expertise. They seek your perspective not because you have more information, but because you have a different way of knowing that consistently provides insights they can't access through logical thinking alone. This isn't about being irrational or making decisions without thought. It's about integrating intuitive knowing with logical analysis to create a more complete understanding of situations. Women with this rare feminine energy use both faculties, but aren't afraid to trust their inner knowing when the two conflict. The second sign of rare feminine energy is that you're not afraid of emotional depth, intensity, or complexity in yourself or others. While most people run from deep feelings, you move toward them with curiosity and acceptance, creating space for others to feel safe being fully human in your presence. In our emotion-phobic culture, most women have learned to suppress, manage, or apologize for their emotional nature. They've been taught that being too emotional makes them difficult, unstable, or professionally unacceptable. But women with rare feminine energy understand that emotions are information, that depth is a gift, and that intensity is a form of aliveness that most people have lost. You probably find that people often share things with you that they don't tell anyone else. Strangers open up to you in unexpected ways. Friends call you when they're going through difficult times because they know you won't try to fix them, judge them, or rush them through their feelings. You have a natural capacity to hold space for the full spectrum of human emotion without becoming overwhelmed or trying to change the experience. This comfort with emotional intensity extends to your own inner life as well. You don't run from your own sadness, anger, fear, or overwhelming joy. You've learned that emotions are temporary weather patterns, not permanent states, and that allowing them to move through you naturally is healthier than suppressing or avoiding them. In romantic relationships, this quality is absolutely magnetic to masculine energy because it creates the kind of depth and intimacy that most men crave but rarely experience. While many women either shut down emotionally or become dramatic about feelings, you offer something different, genuine emotional intelligence that can navigate complexity without creating chaos. Men often find themselves sharing things with you that they've never told anyone. Your ability to receive their emotional truth without judgment, without trying to fix them, without making it about you, creates a level of intimacy that becomes almost addictive. You become the woman he can be completely real with, which is extraordinarily rare in most men's experience. But this isn't just about being a good listener or being empathetic. It's about having a sophisticated understanding of emotional energy that allows you to stay grounded in your own center while holding space for others' experiences. You don't take on their emotions as your own, but you don't dismiss or minimize them either. You might notice that you're drawn to art, music, literature, or films that explore the deeper aspects of human experience. You're not entertained by superficial content because you crave the kind of emotional richness that feeds your soul. This depth of feeling and appreciation for intensity is becoming increasingly rare in our culture of emotional numbing and constant distraction. This quality drives men wild because authentic masculine energy is actually quite deep and emotional, despite cultural conditioning that tells men to suppress these aspects of themselves. When a man encounters a woman who can handle his full emotional range, his passion, his fears, his dreams, his vulnerabilities, without trying to change him or being overwhelmed by him, it activates a primal recognition of partnership. You create what ancient Taoists called emotional sanctuary, a space where someone can be completely authentic without performance or pretense. This sanctuary becomes precious beyond measure to anyone who experiences it, but especially to men who rarely encounter this level of emotional acceptance and understanding. Instead of fighting these natural rhythms or judging yourself for not being consistent, you've learned to work with your cycles. You might plan important projects during your high-energy phases and use your quieter periods for planning, reflecting, or nurturing activities. You understand that your creative and emotional rhythms are connected to larger forces, lunar cycles, seasonal changes, or simply the natural ebb and flow of life energy. This connection to natural rhythms extends beyond your personal cycles to how you approach relationships and life decisions. You understand that relationships have seasons, times of intense connection and times of needing space, periods of growth and periods of integration. You don't panic when things feel different, because you trust in natural timing and organic unfolding. Men are magnetically drawn to this quality because it offers such a different way of being from the constant pressure and hustle that characterizes most people's lives. Your ability to flow with natural rhythms, rather than forcing artificial timelines, creates a sense of ease and spaciousness that feels deeply nourishing to masculine energy. You might find that men feel more relaxed and authentic around you because you're not demanding constant performance or consistent emotional availability. Your understanding of natural cycles gives others permission to have their own rhythms, their own seasons of being more or less available, more or less expressive. This quality is rare because our entire educational and professional system is designed to suppress cyclical awareness in favor of linear productivity. Women who maintain this connection have usually had to actively resist cultural conditioning that tells them their natural rhythms are inconvenient or unprofessional. You probably have a deep appreciation for beauty in nature, changing seasons, or the way light shifts throughout the day. You might feel more energized during certain phases of the moon, or find that your intuition is stronger at particular times. These aren't superstitions, they're expressions of a deep feminine connection to the larger rhythms that govern all life. In intimate relationships, this cyclical awareness creates incredible depth and sustainability. Instead of expecting relationships to feel the same every day, you understand that love itself has seasons, periods of passion and periods of peaceful companionship, times of intense connection and times of individual growth. This understanding prevents you from creating problems during natural relationship cycles that would otherwise be navigated smoothly. Your comfort with cyclical living also means you're not afraid of endings, transitions, or periods of uncertainty. You understand that death and rebirth are natural parts of all cycles, whether we're talking about relationships, career phases, or personal growth periods. This acceptance of natural timing makes you incredibly attractive to people who are exhausted by trying to control outcomes and force life to happen on their preferred timeline. The fourth sign of rare feminine energy is that you possess an inner complexity and depth that can never be completely understood or possessed, maintaining what Lao Tzu called the mystery of the feminine that keeps people perpetually fascinated and intrigued. While many women feel pressure to be completely transparent, available, and easy to understand, women with rare feminine energy naturally maintain layers of mystery, not through manipulation or game playing, but through genuine depth and complexity that unfolds gradually over time. You're not trying to be mysterious, you simply are mysterious because you're connected to the inexhaustible depth of feminine wisdom. You might find that even people who have known you for years continue to discover new aspects of your personality, your interests, your perspectives. You reveal yourself gradually in layers, allowing intimacy to deepen naturally rather than overwhelming people with everything about yourself immediately. This isn't about being secretive. It's about having such rich inner landscapes that full exploration takes time. Men often describe women with this quality as fascinating or intriguing in ways they can't quite articulate. There's always more to discover, always another layer to explore. Just when someone thinks they understand you completely, you reveal a new interest, a different perspective, an unexpected depth that keeps the relationship feeling alive and dynamic. This mysterious quality stems from several sources. First, you probably have a rich inner life. You think deeply about life, love, meaning, and purpose. You're not just consuming culture, you're creating your own understanding of existence through contemplation, reading, spiritual practice, or artistic expression. This depth of inner development creates natural complexity that can't be quickly catalogued or understood. Second, you likely have diverse interests and passions that don't fit into neat categories. You might be equally drawn to ancient philosophy and modern science, classical music and contemporary art, outdoor adventures and quiet meditation. This multifaceted nature makes you impossible to pigeonhole or predict, which maintains natural intrigue. Third, you probably experience the world through multiple levels of awareness simultaneously. You're present to the surface conversation, while also picking up on emotional undercurrents, energy dynamics, and unspoken communications. This multidimensional awareness gives you perspectives that others find surprising and enlightening. The mysterious quality isn't about withholding information or being artificially unavailable. It's about being so authentically complex that full knowledge is impossible. Even you continue to discover new aspects of yourself as you grow and evolve. So, how could anyone else completely understand you? This drives men wild because masculine energy is often goal-oriented and enjoys the challenge of understanding and figuring out complex systems. A woman who can never be completely known provides endless fascination and prevents the relationship from becoming boring or predictable. The mystery maintains tension and keeps attraction alive over time. You might notice that people often project their own interpretations onto you, seeing qualities or meanings that you didn't intentionally communicate. This happens because your mysterious nature creates space for others' imagination and desire to fill in the gaps. Rather than being frustrated by misunderstanding, you might find this phenomenon interesting and allow people their interpretations while remaining true to your own self-understanding. In relationships, this quality means that intimacy deepens progressively, rather than overwhelming partners immediately. Men find themselves wanting to spend more time with you, ask more questions, understand more about how you think and feel. The relationship becomes a gradual exploration, rather than a quick conquest, which creates the foundation for lasting fascination and devotion. This mysterious nature also protects your energy, because you're not giving everything away to everyone. You have appropriate boundaries around your inner world, sharing intimacy selectively with people who have earned access to your depths through consistency, respect, and genuine care. The fifth, and perhaps most powerful sign that you possess rare feminine energy is that you naturally inspire others, especially men, to rise to their highest potential without trying to change them or telling them what to do. Your presence itself creates an energetic invitation for people to become more than they thought possible. This is perhaps the rarest and most attractive feminine quality, because it requires a sophisticated understanding of how transformation actually works. Most people try to change others through criticism, suggestions, or direct pressure. But women with this rare feminine energy understand that real transformation happens through inspiration, not manipulation. You might notice that men behave differently around you, more generously, more thoughtfully, more authentically. They find themselves wanting to be better versions of themselves in your presence. They might dress better, speak more carefully, act more courteously, or pursue their goals more seriously when they're connected to you. This isn't because you're demanding these changes, but because your energy naturally calls forth their higher nature. This inspirational quality stems from several aspects of authentic feminine energy. First, you probably see people's potential rather than just their current limitations. When you look at someone, you naturally perceive not just who they are now, but who they could become. This vision isn't judgmental about their current state, it's simply aware of their unrealized possibilities. Second, you likely embody the qualities you wish to see in others. Rather than trying to force change through words or pressure, you demonstrate what's possible through your own way of being. If you value integrity, you live with integrity. If you appreciate kindness, you embody kindness. If you want depth in relationships, you offer depth. This authentic modeling creates natural inspiration because people can see what's possible rather than just being told what they should do. Third, you probably have mastered the art of appreciating people for who they are while simultaneously holding space for who they're becoming. This creates psychological safety that allows for growth rather than defensive resistance. People feel accepted and valued in their current state, while also feeling called toward their potential. Men are particularly responsive to this quality because masculine energy thrives on having a worthy mission or purpose to pursue. When a woman embodies high standards and genuine appreciation simultaneously, it creates what ancient Taoists called effortless elevation. The desire to rise that comes from inspiration rather than obligation. You might find that ex-partners often tell you that their time with you changed them for the better, that they became better men because of your influence. Current partners might surprise themselves by pursuing goals they never thought they wanted, developing qualities they didn't know they possessed, or reaching levels of success they hadn't imagined possible. This isn't about being a life coach or constantly motivating others. It's about embodying such authentic feminine radiance that people naturally want to match your energy level. You create what could be called gravitational pull toward excellence, not through force, but through the natural attractive power of someone who is genuinely living at a high level. The key distinction is that you inspire through being rather than doing. You don't lecture, manipulate, or pressure. You simply live your values so authentically that others feel called to examine their own lives and make changes that align them with their highest possibilities. This quality drives men wild because it offers them something most men rarely experience: the opportunity to become heroic in the eyes of someone they deeply respect. Instead of feeling criticized or managed, they feel inspired and supported in becoming the man they've always wanted to be. Now that you understand these 5 signs, it's important to recognize how they work together to create the complete picture of rare, feminine energy that Lao Tzu described as the mysterious female. These aren't separate qualities to develop. They're interconnected aspects of authentic feminine power that naturally arise when you're connected to your true nature. When you trust your intuition, sign number 1, while being comfortable with emotional depth, sign number 2, you create the foundation for honoring natural cycles, sign number 3. This cyclical awareness, combined with your mysterious depths, sign number 4, naturally inspires others, sign number 5, because you're living from such an authentic, powerful place. If you recognize yourself in these signs, understand that you possess something extraordinarily valuable that the modern world desperately needs. You're not too much, or too intense, or too complicated. You're connected to ancient feminine wisdom that has the power to heal the disconnection and emptiness that characterizes so much of modern life. Your role isn't to tone down these qualities to make others comfortable. Your role is to embody them even more fully, to trust them even more deeply, to allow them to guide you toward relationships and experiences that honor your authentic nature. The men who are meant for you will be magnetically drawn to these qualities, not intimidated by them. They'll recognize rare feminine energy when they encounter it and understand that they're in the presence of something precious and powerful that deserves to be treasured, not tamed. If you recognized yourself in these 5 signs, you're being called to step more fully into your power as a woman who carries ancient feminine wisdom in a world that has largely forgotten what authentic femininity looks like. Your sensitivity isn't weakness, it's sophisticated intelligence. Your emotional depth isn't instability, it's emotional mastery. Your cyclical nature isn't inconsistency, it's alignment with natural law. Your mysterious depths aren't complications, they're expressions of the infinite feminine. Your inspirational presence isn't pressure, it's the natural effect of someone living at their highest potential. Stop apologizing for these gifts. Stop trying to make them smaller. Stop allowing others to convince you that your feminine nature is something to overcome rather than something to celebrate and cultivate. Like this video if you're ready to embrace your rare feminine energy fully. Comment and tell me which of these signs resonates most deeply with you, and subscribe, because we're going to continue exploring the ancient feminine wisdom that can transform your life and your relationships. Remember, you don't need to become anything you're not. You need to more fully become what you already are, a woman connected to the mysterious, powerful, creative force that Lao Tzu recognized as the source of all life. The world needs your rare feminine energy. Trust it, honor it, and watch as it transforms everything around you.